The Vikings from Northern Europe are well known today for their exploits in the West, but these warriors and traders also expanded towards Eastern Europe, where they founded a prosperous medieval federation in present-day Ukraine, Russia, and Belarus. The truth is that Scandinavian settlements in Eastern Europe date back to at least 750 AD, as evidenced by a talisman found in the northwestern Russian city of Staraya Ladoga, bearing the face of the war god Odin, dating from that time. However, it was after 840 that the Scandinavian Vikings, known as Varangians or Rus, established Viking dominion over the Slavic tribes in what was called Rus. Initially, the region was divided among three noble brothers. The eldest, Rurik, settled in Novgorod, the second, Cineas, in Beluzero, and the third, Truva, in Izborsk. But it was the district of Novgorod that was known as the land of Rus, a Nordic word meaning the men who row. 2 years later, Rurik's brothers died, and he took over their territory, establishing Novgorod as the capital of his kingdom. After his death, his successor, Prince Oleg of Novgorod, known as the Prophet, conquered the city of Kiev in 882 and established his new capital there, giving rise to Kievan Rus. In addition to conquering these territories, he also increased his wealth by establishing trade agreements with Constantinople, the capital of the wealthy Byzantine Empire or Eastern Roman Empire. These were years of prosperity for the young kingdom. After Oleg's death, problems began. His son and successor, Igor of Kiev, soon began to collect tributes from his subjects. But unlike Oleg, his prices were so high that they led a Slavic tribe to kill him. After his death, his wife Olga took power and supposedly avenged her husband by burning alive those who killed him. Kievan Rus was largely pagan until the end of the 10th century, when after an agreement with the Byzantine emperor, Vladimir converted to Christianity and sent the emperor 6,000 Varangian men for his guard. All of this, together with the fact that Vladimir married the emperor's sister, led to the spread of Byzantine culture within Kievan Rus, with churches being built to expand Christianity and schools to spread literacy. This cultural and economic boom reached its peak under the rule of Vladimir's son, Yaroslav the Wise, who began the construction of the imposing St. Sophia Cathedral in Kiev. Finally, in the 13th century, Kievan Rus was invaded by the Mongols. But despite being completely razed and looted, its cultural footprint in the region lasts to this day. The Mongol invasion of the 13th century marked a significant turning point for Kievan Rus. The Mongols, under the leadership of Batu Khan, grandson of Genghis Khan, successfully sacked and burned many cities in Kievan Rus, including Kiev, the capital. This event, known as the Mongol Yoke, resulted in a period of Mongol domination over Eastern Europe that lasted for several centuries. In the aftermath of the Mongol invasion, Kievan Rus was deeply fragmented. The once unified and prosperous federation was reduced to a series of principalities, each vying for power and autonomy. However, even in this period of turmoil and fragmentation, the cultural and societal influences of the Viking and Byzantine eras remained evident. One of the principalities that emerged from the ruins of Kievan Rus was the Principality of Moscow. Under the rule of Prince Daniel of Moscow, and later his descendants, Moscow began to grow in power and influence. By the late 14th century, Moscow had effectively become the political and spiritual successor to Kievan Rus. This marked the beginning of the rise of the Russian state, which would continue to grow and expand over the following centuries. In terms of cultural influence, the legacy of the Vikings and the Byzantine Empire in Kievan Rus had a profound and lasting impact on the region. The Orthodox Christianity that Prince Vladimir adopted became deeply ingrained in the region's culture, shaping its art, literature, and societal norms. The Cyrillic alphabet, introduced by Byzantine missionaries Saints Cyril and Methodius, remains the writing system for many Eastern European languages today. Moreover, the Viking heritage is still evident in many aspects of Eastern European culture. The tradition of boat building and seafaring, as well as the social and political structures established by the Viking Rus, had a significant influence on the development of Eastern European societies. In conclusion, while the Viking era of Eastern Europe came to an end with the Mongol invasion, its influence pervaded the centuries that followed. The cultural, societal, and political legacy of the Viking Rus continues to shape Eastern Europe to this day.